I suppose that this book is symptomatic of a change, not only in the focus of my ministry, but of my life. Because for 40 years I've been taking trips around the world, often with my brother-in-law Billy Graham, helping in his meetings, holding evangelistic campaigns myself, leading conferences, teaching. Those are wonderful, wonderful, fulfilling days. But now it was time for short flights and quick returns, not thinking I had to go someplace to minister, but right where I was, I could be present with God and with other people to help them be attentive to their own hearts. So it was time to pay attention to my own heart, but also with others, not just speaking to people in a crowd, but closer, heart to heart, face to face. I planned this book to follow the sequence of the hours of a day and the hours of the stages of a life. So that if you go to a religious community, for example, a monastery, though it's not only a monastery, you'll find prayers observed in the middle of the night, what's called vigils, prayers at the beginning of the day, lauds, prayers as you begin the work of the day, prime, or at noon, or the middle of the day, or vespers at the closing of the afternoon, and the end of the day, compline. And I think of those hours as the stages of our life. How did God shape my life even before I was born? When I first become aware of the light of Christ in my life, what was that like? How did those rays come into my life? I think attentiveness is more an attitude of the heart and a desire of the heart than it is a practice, but practice helps us. A practice of the nightly examine at the end of a day, stopping and saying, where have I been blessed today? Where have I sensed God today? Where have I missed Him? What has been desolation during this day? Those are some of the practices I think we can list. Some of them that are very, very ancient, some of them which perhaps are newer today. But they have been very, very helpful to me. Then I have a very unusual model, I think, in this book, and that's my spiritual director dog, Wrangler. I have an Australian cattle dog named Wrangler. He helps me to learn how to wait and pay attention, because in the morning, if we go out for a walk, he's sitting there waiting, just waiting, ready, alert, and as soon as I get ready to move, he's up and going. And unless he pulls ahead, which he does a lot of times, I'll say, with me, and he'll walk right with me, healing with me. I remember one Sunday morning as we were doing that, I thought, it's so hard for me to stop and say, God, I want to be with you today. And Wrangler was teaching me to be with God. So he's one of those models. So I think to learn to pay attention to God in many, many ways, the different hours and stages of our life. This is a book of exploring what some of those can be.